What is going on YouTube? It's Sank and we are back with another one. Now in this drop, coming at you with a couple of plays and a bring to attention. But before we kick things off, I'd like to help out the channel by hitting that like button because it keeps the show rolling. Alright, so as promised, in this one I'm coming at you guys with the heat, putting you guys on some game, bringing to attention a few plays that will explode. Now behind the scenes, these plays have been going from strength to strength despite what that stock price has been doing in recent times. So it's only a matter of time before we see an uplift in that stock price. Now you guys know it's about getting in early on these plays. We'll do those who weren't in on the game, do the chasing and move that stock price up. So as always, we're about to make these money moves. So let's run the first one. So the first I've got for that's Esports Entertainment, ticker symbol GMBL. This is a professional gaming and gambling company. I'm going to circle back with you guys on this one. This is one we've got our position in, but I want to give you guys the updated intel on this one because behind that $11 stock price, this is a play that's gaining momentum. They're continuing to make these acquisitions that are value creative. They're also gaining these licenses, one being New Jersey, so they can start making revenues come at a later quarters of the year. And also they're making these NFL partnerships that's putting the play on the map. Now above all, what really caught my attention was just this week gone, they announced what I call a whale of an acquisition. So not only is this company doing around 30 million in annual sales, but if we home into the finer details, management have now increased that 2022 revenue guidance to over 100 million. This is a big move for the play, and you guys know I like those plays that increase that forward-looking guidance number because it shows that the business is just going full steam ahead. But check this out. This is a play that is hovering around 200 million in market cap. So if management can deliver, execute on that plan, scale up the business 2022, hit that objective of making over 100 million in revenues, this is going to be a severely undervalued play. And as a result, it's only a matter of time before you see this one retest those all-time highs of around $20 and even break through that. So this is why I'm going to bring this one to your attention now ahead of time. Now every portfolio should have a small allocation for a handful of speculative plays with big upside, and this is a play that fits the mold. Because if we take a trip down memory lane, around the time we picked them up $7-8, if you look at that spike in that stock price only after a few trading sessions from $7-8 right up to $18. Now it wouldn't surprise me somewhere down the line if we see another spike up in that stock price again. Now what you guys need to know is some plays are easier holds than others. If you take a BCRX for example, when we pick that play up $7-8, that one's been a smooth ride upwards. But compare that to a higher car, which we picked up around the similar mark. You guys know it's been a volatile play. It's been tricky to hold that one through the sharp dips in that stock price. Now, if you check out this one, last 3 months performance, this one's down over 30%. So I'm expecting this one to be a wild ride. So if you're in this one, just know you've got to buckle up, expect some heat with the play, but just know that behind that stock price, this is a play that is gaining that momentum. Now, in terms of how to move with this play, I'm looking to add around where they're at right now, but I'm very mindful that this one could drop down to the low 11s, could drop down to the 10s, could even drop down into the 9s. So the idea is to build on this one in weakness, catch them in weakness, load up, build your positions. But again, do bear in mind, this is going to be one of your speculative plays. The next one I've got, that's ticker symbol ALPP, that's Alpine 4. Now when it comes to plays in the penny stock range, that's under $5, Alpine 4 is without a shadow of doubt one of my favorite picks because for $3.43, what you're getting here is a play where the management, they're focused. You're also getting a play that's got diversified business lines from construction to aerospace to CBD, and there's that deep desire to create that shareholder value through the acquisitions they make. So this is a play that I'm liking right now. This is a play that I picked up early in the week. I gave you guys a heads up on that because if you check out that stock price, this is one that is sitting at that longer term support in the mid threes. So from a technical point of view, it's looking like good entry can be made where they're at right now. That's not to say the stock price won't drop below, because we know it was only a couple of weeks ago we saw this one drop below $2 to $2.63 to be precise. And it wouldn't surprise me to see this one re-enter into the twos off the back of general market weakness. But the rebound was strong there. Didn't take many trading sessions before we see this one come back afloat, back up to that $3 mark. Now, all it takes is a catalyst with this one, a couple of acquisitions, some good business momentum, see this one move through the threes and into the fours. So as I say, this is a play that I'm liking right now. Now, I don't have many penny stock plays in the portfolio, a very small handful. Most of the portfolio is dominated by plays that have that supply chain, the customer base, they're beating expectations from the top to bottom. Plays like a Grow Generation, for example, or a Roku or a Tesla are the lion's share of the portfolio. But as I say, every portfolio has an allocation for a more speculative play with big upside, and Alpine Forge, just another one of these plays that ticks the boxes. So next one I've got for that's ticker symbol PINS, that's Pinterest. Now the story here is pre-earnings. This is a play that was above $80, but we saw a pullback in that stock price after management came out, said the US numbers are slowing down a little bit. But the investment thesis here was never around the US numbers. It's all about the international scope and reach with Pinterest. And a couple of weeks ago, I told you they're moving well when it comes to that. They're making movements in Latin America, building up their network, their base, and their partnerships there. Also, Europe is another area that they can make moves in. So this play is moving on track, and we could just use this as an opportunity to get into this one at a cheaper price point. Now, hitting success with these plays that will explode is all about understanding and recognizing the untapped potential with plays that are showing momentum in combination with market underappreciation. Now, if you get this all, you're 3/4 of the way there. The next step is just hitting good entry. That being said, Pinterest is a play hovering around that $65 mark, so they're back up to that longer term support line in the mid 60s. So what I want to see from Pinterest over the next couple of trading sessions is stability around that support, so that can give me conviction that that price has sticking power where they're at right now, and I can continue to build up and load at this point before they make their next climb upwards. So this is another play I was going to put on your radar, because if they're able to unleash a lot of this untapped potential, move internationally, also build up their e-commerce partnerships and increase the advertising revenue, this is a play that will continue its climb upwards, and I'm expecting them to be a triple-digit play in the medium term. So I'm letting you guys know well in advance so you guys can get your position in another quality play that's just at a cheaper price point in these markets. So our next play, that's New Technologies, ticker symbol NIU, coming in at $33. Just like all the other plays I've dropped in this one I'm still holding my position, got 50 shares in the clip, waiting for that momentum in that stock price. This is just another one that's come up to surface, trading at support around that low 30s. So again, I want to see some stability where they're at moving forward. When it comes to their business, this is a play that's still gaining momentum. Q2 should be coming in strong, looking to do around 40% to 60% year-on-year increase. As we move forward, I'm just expecting the same kind of momentum in this play. Now, there's several EV plays I could have dropped for you, whether that's NIO or even Tesla, but take a NIO, for example, over the last trading session, that's a play that's moved up above its support. So that one's currently out of the buy zone, whereas New Technologies is in the buy zone right now where they're at. You guys know hitting success in these markets is all about making those optimal and timely entries into these plays. So if you're rocking the channel, you know what time is. Question comes from Philip, says, how do you find plays like Love? I like to build my portfolio with these slower but awesome plays, not just growth plays that might pop 30% in a day. Even though it was a long ride before it started paying off, it's now one of my highest gains. So how do we find more of these slow but secure earners? So to wrap this one up, I want to share this one with you guys. Now, the easiest way to find these types of plays that deliver outsized returns over time is just to stay locked into the channel. It's as simple as that. That's why the channel exists in the first place, because behind the scenes, I have all the stock screeners, I know what to look for, and I'm in these markets all day, going through the company intel, vetting these plays before I come and share them with you guys. Now, if you're rocking with our channel plays, a lot of the plays you're sitting on in the portfolio have the potential to deliver these types of returns or even more over time. You guys know hitting success in these markets is just about getting into the quality play and showing some patience, letting the play mature. That stock price will climb over time. You got to think, with a play like a Lovesac, we jumped into the play at the beginning of the year. It took them a good 4 or 5 months before we really started to see momentum in that stock price. If you look at all the players I've dropped for you in this one, they can all easily add 50% or more to that stock price. It's just a matter of time, showing patience. Now, in terms of vetting these plays, I have a whole system, guys. I'm looking at historic financials, I'm looking at future financials, I'm looking at catalysts, I'm looking at the management teams, I'm looking at their competitive advantage, looking at the industry growth. So several things. It's a whole collection, it's a whole process that I go through when I'm vetting these plays to ensure that they have every chance of generating good returns when it comes to stock price momentum. Now, if I was to go through all of that with you guys, that would require a whole new course, whole different episode of its own that I can't simply cover just in this drop alone. Just know that, as I say, behind the scenes, I'm doing all the research to help you guys So that wraps up for this one. If you've got any questions for me, do leave them down below and I'll get back to you. I want to say I appreciate you guys on your way out. Don't forget to light up that comment section for me. And if you're new, join the movement and I'll catch you in the next one.